Hello everybody, this is Dean the Vaping Biker and we've got another vlog for you today. Now I'm even less planned than I normally am, but it was a case of I was either going to sit here and think about what I was going to say and then plan it all out and all that sort of stuff, so that was going to take longer, and then by the time I'd recorded it, it would have taken too much of the day, and I've got something else I want to be playing with, so I'll show you that in a bit. So first off, ooh look. It's a vaping biker. It's the sort of the warm kind of look vaping biker on my t-shirt and on a coffee mug. How exciting! Oh. What's happening at the minute is I'm working on a few bits of merch, if you like, and it should be pretty cool. I'm playing around with a couple of things with this logo on at the moment, but there is going to be other stuff as well, which is kind of more wearable and doesn't all have my face on, which is possibly a good thing. So once I get the shop together, that'll be on www.vapingbiker.co.uk, so you'll be able to see a whole bunch of stuff on there. And I'm just working out a few bits and pieces with suppliers and things, because obviously I'm not going to buy everything in bulk. I'm not a shop, I'm not a business or anything like that. So I'm working with a couple of companies to help me out with that as well. So that should be a bit interesting. Hopefully I can bring something funky to you guys if that kind of tickles your fancy. But you know, I just like drinking from my face. Anyway, that's a rubbish cup of tea I made, but never mind. So, what's been going on? Well, hopefully you can hear that I'm a little bit better than even in my last vlog. Still a little bit on the old snotty side. Haven't turned my phone off from all the dings. Let me just turn that bugger down, off, quiet. Shush. Shush. Who was that? Who was that? Will. Young Will. Who's just bought himself an RX 200. Good out. Well done, Will. Dead crackers. So let me have a little look now. Then last vlog I mentioned about the Cloudmaker. Still a massive mod, but I have been using it. I actually dropped it. It was in the side pocket of my car, which just keeps everything upright. So if you've got a dripper onto it, you know, rather than laying it down on the passenger seat, it was in the side pocket of my car. I opened my car door and I went onto the floor. What that's meant is the magnetic door, it's not really damaged it. There's a slight scuff on one corner, but that's it. It's not really damaged it, but it means that I think it's shifted the case just a hint. So it means that I can get the magnetic door off now, which is exciting. It's the little things, and doesn't necessarily fit all together brilliantly. I can't see why things are all going a bit... There it is. We're in. I can't see why it's a little bit pissy, but anyway, and it's working. It's still working. It's still doing what a DMA working well. I've had a bunch of different atomizers on here, but obviously because of its size, and it's a hint wider, but not quite as tall as a B box. For those of you that build boxes, a Hammond B box, like I say, is very, very similar. But in fact. Here we go. I was going to build a B-box some time ago, and we'll just leave all those bits in there. Okay, so that's a B-box, and that is the Cloudmaker. So you can see that the B-box is just slightly bigger than that one. Do it! Don't drop things. Don't drop things. But we are slightly wider, you can see, than a B box. So you know that gives you a bit of a comparison if you've seen these sorts of mods. Do people use B boxes anymore? It's all G's now, isn't it? Anyway, so I've been using it and it's been working as it should do. Nothing's fallen off, nothing's blown up, nothing's shorted. So you know, all in all, very good. The Cloudmaker released a weird video. They did release a weird video where it was kind of how to make the USB plug black. And basically it was just take the faceplate off and colour it in with a black paint pen. What? Am I the only one that thinks that that's just a little bit odd? But there you go. What else has happened? I have had a... I'm just going to bring my emails up. I should have done this beforehand. Like I say, unplanned. I have had a couple of email discussions with Jeremy from Cloudmaker, and in all honesty, I'm finding it pretty interesting. They are really taking on board things to improve the product, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of that sort of discussion, both with me and with everybody else. Obviously, I must admit I've not been keeping up to speed with things on Reddit as I should have been, but they've got some improvements. There's a list here. He sent me a link to something that is going to be right. The front panel, oh, go away. Front panel is going to be easier to remove. We've modified the design slightly to make the front panel easier to remove, which is especially useful for the whiteout DNA 18650 configuration models. Haven't seen that yet, but there we go. A thicker nylon weave. We've moved to a thicker, more durable nylon protection for the internal wires that are less susceptible to fraying. Must admit, not a problem I've had yet, but then again I haven't stripped it apart yet, so we'll have to see what happens there. Magnetic hole tolerance adjustment. We've tightened the tolerance on the chassis and the panel magnets to prevent fallout, which has occurred in certain circuits. Now, that's the plate has not fallen off for me, but obviously the magnet did fall out. On my unboxing, it wasn't attached to the corner of the faceplate. I would imagine rather than changing the machining, all they had to do was put a dollop of glue in there. But you know, symmetrical front panel, which is going to be good, because one of the things that is quite annoying is you'll see that this section is wider than this section. So this section is, I mean, it depends on how OCD you are about these things, I guess, but this is the back, and it comes out and then across, and this is the front, and it's very, very flat, which makes it look a little bit lopsided, and obviously that kind of does have an impact to some degree when you put an atomizer on as well. So yeah, it's nice to see that they're doing that. They are making some quality improvements with rejecting all panel defects and better DNA screen protection, which will be good. They're hiring a media manager who'll be the point person for all social media correspondences. Don't know how I feel about that one, in all honesty, because it's good to go being able to discuss it with the people that make it. You know, how much in... I don't know. I don't know about that. Switching factories to a more experienced and timely electronics factory. We have trained one of our warehouse members to facilitate repairs. So it's useful to train someone to do repairs. It's not that useful when those repairs are needed in anywhere else in the world that's not America. So it would be nice to see them possibly reach out a little bit more than that and look at kind of repair centres, have a repair sort of point in the UK, and then that could cover potentially Europe, and then, you know, in other places like that. That would be, I think, something that's pretty good. And I know that some other mod manufacturers do that, or at least have licensed or approved repairers in other countries, because obviously you don't want to be shipping this across the water if things go a bit wrong, because you end up paying a bucket load in shipping and taxes when it comes back to you. But I've got the Magma on. I've still been playing around with different coils and such on the Magma. I've put the regular Magma drip tip on, not that it makes really any difference at all, but I've stuck that back on. I still really like the look of it. I still think it, because of its beefy kind of barrelness, I still think it looks great. The airflow is still a bit odd, but I've been experimenting with different heights on my coils, and where I'm at the moment is kind of, it's just above the posts themselves, but just under the heads of the screws, and it's still loud, but not necessarily quite as gurgly as it was. And bearing in mind that the juice wasn't going down the air holes before, I don't really understand how it's gurgling, but that's the thing. Let me have a vape. Whistly still. Whistly. It would be great if Paradigm could figure a way of kind of having that airflow swoosh up a little bit rather than bosh, bosh. And I do think, and this is going to come when I come to and do the up close, I do think, as I said in my last vlog, that the air goes in and then it looks as though it might drop, just kind of like 0.5 mil or something. And yeah, it's just a bit fucky. And I still don't understand why one side kind of sounds like it gets blocked now and then, and it's not the same side every time. It's weird. It's weird. It is very, very strange. But if we take that to one side for a minute, as an atomizer to build on, like I say, I think the looks are lovely. It's pretty sweet. And there is a pretty reasonable amount of airflow in there. So, you know, that's been an interesting vape for the last week or so. Wow, coffee gets cold really quickly, doesn't it? Tea even. I've got something very exciting. So, back at the start of January, I think it was, Vape Forward were very kind enough to say that they were going to make sure I got the range of new Vape Forward mods, which is super. Well, I've had to wait for Totally Wicked in the UK to be able to get the stock of them, and then they got sent out via Totally Wicked. But it's a massive thank you to Charlie and those at Vape Forward for making it happen. And let me show you what I've got and what I've been enjoying. And I have used these every day this week, and it's been rather splendid. Now we've got the flask, or the classic. Excuse me, tea gives me burps. The classic is, you know, it is different to a regular classic or a regular flask. The batteries are like so, as opposed to going in the underside, so you don't have any of the issues with screws. But at the same time, mine doesn't quite sit flush, and I am going to send Charlie a message on that and just let him know about that. But yeah, I've tried a whole bunch of different batteries in it, and you hear that? So the door kind of pivots a little bit, which is a bit weird. The chip itself, or the board, sorry Rick, the board is working admirably and doing exactly what I would expect, and is very, very similar to the RX200 board with what it does. This is a shape that people kind of go a little bit bonkers for, and this finish leaves finger marks all over it. Let's see. It's really comfortable if you put it in your jeans, because obviously it hugs your leg. It's comfy in the respect of it kind of fits in your hand. It fits in the curvature of your hand. If you're a lefty and want to finger fire, it doesn't quite sort of do the same thing, but it's not uncomfortable, not by any stretch. Personally, for me, as I'm a righty and I like the finger fire, I would have preferred the RDA to be on the other end, but I imagine that hasn't been possible. Oh no, that could have been possible by the looks of it. I was going to say the batteries probably are in the way, but they're not. So yeah, I would have liked the 510 to be on the other side, just because for me that kind of seems logical and comfortable. But having said that, it's doing a reasonable job. On top of there, by the way, I've got a dot mod that I picked up from Dan and Rach Burt. They have been superb and sold me their dot mod, which I've been rocking the shit out of. And I've put one of my dot mod drip tips on the top of there, and I love it. I really do love it. Ruby Roo was right all along. Right all along. This is the I think this is the V1. So I think I'd like to try the V2. I think as the V2 got a little bit more air, so I'm going to have a look at getting the second version of the dot mod. Still a pricey dripper for something that has non-adjustable airflow, but you know it's pretty sweet. They did send me. Dan and Rach did send me a chuff cap for it as well, or a chuff style cap for it. But because of this is one of my slight annoyances with this style of dripper. Oh, it's got a nice kind of conical sort of focus, so it really helps push that flavour up into your mouth. When you have something that's that big on the hole, you can, but you've only got two holes that big, either in the side, then you're choking the air in, because obviously you can suck a lot more air than it's letting you have it. So Yeah, it's not... Personally, I prefer the standard drip tip on or the standard top cap on there, because also I think it does help with the flavour a wee touch as well. Which brings me to another thing, actually, before I go any further. I've got some craggy juice. I bought some juice because a lot of people have been talking about this online recently. And this is a UK juice, craggy juice, and this one is called Joast. And Joast is jam on toast. Jam on toast. Like jam as in preserve, as in strawberry jam that you spread on your toast in an e-liquid. Clearly that's not going to work. Wrong, wrong. It does work, and it tastes like well cooked toast with jam on the top. I don't get it. I have been vaping it a bit, and it's been boggling me. It really has. It's confused the fuck out of my little brain cells, because you shouldn't really get jam on toast from your vape, but you really do. And in the morning with a cup of tea or something, oh, it's lovely. It's weird, so weird, but in a good way, in a really good way. On as well as that one, I also got the Monkey Crunch, and I got the Milkshake Man, which is just a strawberry kind of milkshake that loads of people are coming out with now, and another one called Granny something or other, which is kind of a raspberry affair. However, my wife has stolen it. She's stolen it, she tasted it, she liked it. Without me looking, it got lifted, and she's at work at the moment, so I can't show it to you. But no, I'm quite impressed with those. I'm quite impressed with those juices all round. But that's that. This isn't going to be a short vlog, is it? On top of that, we have the Stout from Vapor Flask. No, Vape Forward now, which is once again ergonomically, it's a really nice ergonomic product. The battery doors on these, yeah, that's a tank, that'd be all right. The battery doors on these just slide open like so. Battery pops out, goes in, and you're in again. And it has a nice little click to sit itself in. Super easy way of changing batteries. There has been a few people that have been saying that it's been tearing their battery wraps, but I've not found that at all. Currently on there is the old Clitoris, or the Clito tank from Aspire. I'm still rocking that. I actually went out and purchased from the Aspire site that I bought it from, the one in the UK, that's mentioned and in the review, that's the word. Still with these, the discount is still working on those if you want to use those, guys. So check out the Clito review, and that discount code is still rocking it. But I actually bought some more coils on this just because I've been loving it, you know, with driving or just being lazy in front of the TV. Currently I've got that at 60 watts. Brilliant. The flavour on it's fantastic, and that is one of my my favourite simple non-rebuildable tanks. Now I have got a coil, and this weekend that I'm going to try and rebuild, so I'm going to let you know how that gets on, because I think they have said that they're going to bring out a rebuildable, but I've not seen it yet, and so I'm going to just try and rebuild an existing one and see what happens. Now my tea's gone. Have a can of Coke. Oh. Cheers. Oh, look at that, look. The mug's big enough for the Coke can. Product placement, you know. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this. The Stout, once again, the board, very similar to the RX200, working well, ergonomically, working absolutely fine. I prefer this to the Classic ergonomically, to be honest with you. It works for me. The battery life seems to be spot on, as you would expect from a 26650. And I mean, at the moment, I've got the 0.2 ohm coil in here at the moment. I put the battery in, day before yesterday. And I haven't obviously solely been vaping this, but I've still got over half a battery left, and it's working out really, really well. So yeah, so all in all, I think this is pretty sweet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm still all of these Vape Forward products. As always, I know I could try and get a review out and kind of be that early door reviewer, but I don't want to because I really want to get to grips with them. I really want to play because I think the boards, as far as I'm aware, are all slightly different. They all do ever so slightly different things, but I'm not entirely sure, so I'm going to have a little play with those and see what's going on. Juice in here, by the way, is the Grumpy Custard, which I need to order some more of because that has been, I've really been enjoying that custard. That's been rocking out really well, and it's not been absolutely killing my coils, which is, as you guys know, if you've watched me regularly, something that I have had quite the problems with in the past with custards, and just fucking the coils royally. Big fan. Like that a lot. I hope you don't hear the wind, by the way. I've got the window open today because it's just been unusually, unseasonably not right for the season, warm. On top of the light. Now this, randomly, is my favourite of the Vape Forward line so far. This is a single 18650, and much like the 26650, just you slide the door open, pop your battery in, give it a little push as you close the door up, clicks into place, bosh. So super quick at changing your batteries, and it's rocking out really well. This for me is the most comfortable in my hand, if you like. I really like the feel of it. It's got a very slight kind of flasky kind of bend to it. So it's comfortable in both hands. Because it's so small, it doesn't really bother me that well, there's a point. I didn't even think about this. The 510 is directly over the buttons on the light, but on the Classic, it's not. So they could put the 510 directly over the thing. Yeah, interesting. But for me, this has been the one that I've really been enjoying. On top of there, I have got the Nobunaga. Now, if you saw my review of the Shingen, someone did let me know. Hang on a second. Let me just go through my comments. Somebody was kind enough to tell me how to pronounce it. It's not Shingen. It's not Shingen at all. But you know, if you come to my channel and expect me to pronounce everything properly all the time, then I imagine I've disappointed you before now. I have to say that to the wife so much. I can't find it. Gutted. It'd probably be easier if I just looked on my Shingen review, because I think it's under there. Oh, come on. Where is it? I'm only looking for this, and I know, I'm sorry. I'm taking up time that I shouldn't be taking up. I know, and I'm sorry about that. But I want to be, you know, it's nice to know how to pronounce stuff, isn't it? Right, comments on the video. Where are we? Oh, it's not on there. If you enjoyed the outtakes on that video, by the way, let me know. I only threw kind of a couple of little ones in there because that was one of my days that happens quite regularly, where words just don't come out. And I know it's a shock because I talk my face off the rest of the time, but no, what about on the vlog? Did she say it on the vlog? I think it was a lady. Do you know what? I'm going to have to give up. I'm going to give this up as a bad job. But yeah, thank you to whoever it was who told me how to pronounce it. And I've clearly forgotten because I'm still calling it Shingen, even though it's not. So yes, I apologise for that. But thank you for making the comment. Now I'm going to go back to my comments now. So some of that. I wanted to read out some comments today. You see, I wanted to have one of those vlogs where I can say, oh, thank you very much for your input. Very kind. But am I going to do it? So, there we go. Oh, There's another one, Tony S on one of my early videos for Vampire Vapes. Boring and miserable personality. God, you know how to put people on a downer. Why so miserable? Thank you very much, Tony. That's very kind. Oh dear. Clearly doesn't watch the videos. Anyway, I'm going to have a little vape on there. I can't remember what juice is in it. Oh, it's going. And that's running out juice wise. I have got Wick Liquor back. If you like a really sweet kind of juice, which is great at high wattage, high temp sort of vaping, Wick Liquor is still fantastic and very much up there. It's another UK company that does a fantastic job, and my personal favourite is this Deja Voodoo. And when you read the descriptions of them, Deja Voodoo would not be one that I would kind of get all excited about, because it's got coconut in it, and I think coconut vape, oh no, but it's actually bloody marvellous, and it's fucking superb when you're doing sort of reasonably high temp stuff. Now I've got the Nobunaga fully open, excuse me, pardon, fully open at 70 watts. I've got the chuff style cap on, so you can't control the airflow on that one. For days. So yeah, enjoying that, loving it like that. What was that song? Loving it, I'm loving it like that. Anyway, you don't need to hear me singing, do you? So there we go, that's those. What else have I got that's interesting? So talking about some other juice, the Plumes of Hazard did a competition, not competition, a raffle recently, and they raised an obscene amount of money, which is brilliant for them, and I won. What did I win? I won the Lane Cove range, and we've got this one, which is Lucy. And Lucy is a sweet minty candy, which is lovely. It's quite pepperminty, that one. I'm a big fan of the occasional minty vape that's not too kind of... what word am I thinking of? Menthol. That's not too mentholy. And this is nice and minty. I had a similar experience with the old Plumes of Hazard stuff, which I've run out of. No, I really have. I think I've had a bottle downstairs. Oh, there we go. So we've got Lucy, which is a lovely kind of pepperminty, almost sweet kind of vape, which I've really been enjoying. Mai, which is a blackcurrant fruit pastel. Not quite like Roundtree's fruit pastels, but it's very blackcurranty and quite nice. We've got the refreshing, what's this? Samantha. Refreshing passion fruit lemonade, which I've got in the avocado, which I'll talk about in a second. But enjoying that one. That was quite a bright flavour, throwing things around as usual. We've got Alice, a traditional oatmeal and toasted coconut cookie. And we've got Nola, which is a pavlova meringue topped with whipped cream, strawberries, kiwi and passion fruit. I think it's the Alice one, which is the one that is my least favourite. Not saying it's a bad juice, but it's my least favourite out of the line. The top one would be Lucy, and then it would be coming after that would be Nola. I think those would be my two kind of fancies, if you like. What else? Did I tell you that I got a few of the Twisted Messes? No. Twisted 420 juice. The baller. Is it the baller juice? I've lost that as well. Fucking useless, I tell you. I really am bad. No, there's a couple of little bottles. Baller juice. Drake's Dessert and Red-headed stepchild. If you watch the Ideal Home show, you'll see that I gave these a testing on one of the shows, and there was one of them, and it looks badly like it said fruit gash on it, but it wasn't. But it tickled me anyway. But they're interesting, and I think my favourite of those is probably the Drake's Dessert one, to be honest. Wow, for someone that doesn't do juice reviews, I just talked about juice for a long old time. But that's what I've been vaping on over the last week or so. So yeah, enjoyable stuff. Enjoyable stuff. So we've had a sort of a first impressions of the vape forward stuff, and you know, I think, especially for the money, because they're all sort of sub £100 stuff, and they are good. Now, would I get one of these instead of an RX200? That's going to remain to be seen when I do the final review of these. Obviously, you've got differences, you've got different form factors, you've got all that sort of stuff. So it'll very much depend on what you like the feel of. As I said, I didn't think that the light was going to be my favourite. I didn't think that this was going to be the favourite one. I thought it was going to be the classic. But it turns out that this is just bloody marvellous. And it rocks. And the Nobunaga's rock. Hopefully I'm going to get the Nobunaga review out this weekend as well. And because I'm a massive fan. There's the big one there, and then there's the little one as well. The mini, which is very, very sweet and does a cracking little job. If you like your mini vapes, then that is a good one. Now then, let me just take this off. Do I want to take that off there? No. No, I don't. No. I'm going to keep that on there, and I'm going to pop the avocado on the stout. Now, I'd reviewed the avocado the other day, and I'll let you know about the kind of slight shorting issues that I've had on a couple of occasions, which hasn't been a permanent thing. It hasn't been a constant. So what I've got in here now, let's see if we can do 60 watts. You can see I've still got some juice in here. A couple of people have been saying that they've been having wicking trouble. If you're one of those people, then I put 3mm ID coils in, and so the what am I using? Muji, I think. Am I using Muji? I think I'm using Muji. So the Muji is kind of going to be snug but movable in those coils, and then I droop them all the way down to the base, and I have had no problems whatsoever when it comes to wicking in the slightest. The key is not to kind of try and crush it. As with any kind of wicking, especially with tanks, don't crush your cotton together. Give it a little bit of space, because whilst it doesn't expand, if you think about a strand of cotton, or you know, a strand of hair. Think of it as a strand of hair. If you put a bit of water or any fluid on it, it will be wider than the hair, because it scoots itself down the hair. So that makes that particular strand just a little bit thicker. And so if you crush cotton and it's all together, then you're only going to really kind of get the wicking from the outside of the cotton, because the inside bits are so tightly squished that it's not able to kind of absorb the fluid. And so the only kind of suggestion I can make when it comes to wicking this, because I've had no problems whatsoever, is just to make sure that there's some breathing space around them. Now, so a few people have asked about leaking on the avocado, and I don't think I mentioned that in the review, but I haven't had any leaking issues, and you know, I'm a clumsy fucker. If you watch me regularly, you'll know that I'm a clumsy bastard. So when it goes on its side, I've not had any problems with the juice all gushing out. There are 4mm holes in there, and so with the 3mm wick that's poofed out a little bit, then it kind of stops that from happening. If you put a 2mm coil in there with 2mm wick, then you know it's more likely to come out. But as it is, lovely old job. I've had a few people telling me that the lock nut that goes over the top of the 510 that goes all the way through the unit, that really has to be tight, and that'll prevent shorting issues. But you know, like I say, since I've rebuilt it again for the second time, as in second time of having a shorting issue, stripping it apart, cleaning it and putting it back together, I've had no problems at all. And 60 watts. Single coil still floating around on here. On the review, I put an alien wire build in that my friend Michael made, and it's working brilliantly. The flavour on it is spectacular. The vape on it's great. I'm loving it. Great production as well. And that's still single coil. So there we go. That's, I think, is that all my new stuff? I think that's all my new vapey things. Really thirsty today, and I wasn't even on the lash last night. Have I said to you about Zipipith? Pronunciation, you say? Oh, who was it? Who was it? Where did I get it from? Come on, people. I don't think I've said, so I really want to. I bought some wire. And there's plenty of, you know, you've got options in the UK to buy wire from. However, I was looking for a different wire supply just to see what was what. And, oh, no, that's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Come on, where is it? Where are you, bugger? I'm going to give up again. Seriously? Ah, zip. Oh, fuck me. ZIVIPF. Zipif. Yes, zip. Fuck it. It is www.zivipf.de. So I think it's in Germany. Anyway, all their spools fit nicely together, and then you can pull them off, and there you go. And I bought some, what did I buy? I've got some 316L. I'm still using my stainless and enjoying it a lot. I got a Canthal, a couple of NI80s, and some more Canthal there. So loving it. And I love this. I love this. Just, you know, fitting them all together in a kind of a Lego-y kind of way. That just makes sense to me. I like that. I think I'm going to make some kind of spool feeder, you know. So you put that on, get the old Beadalons out. Now, if you haven't used a Beadalon spool tamer, it's a little band that you can pop around your thing. I think it's a sewing thing more than anything else. You tighten it up to where you need it. Your wire will pull through that hole there. And then you just grab hold of that, pull it out. Everyone's a winner. That'll spin round the spool, and it stops it going. Because that is just the worst, isn't it? And I have had. Here we go. Look. This is what happens when you don't use a spool tamer. Oh, very windy. So yeah, that idea of it going. Just boing, then you know you're screwed, and it's just a vapor's nightmare sound, I think. So yeah, so that stuff is working out really well. The Beadalons work really well, and these spool tamers, I need to get some more Beadalons for these, although I don't know if those ones are going to be slightly too big. So I'm going to get in contact and find out if these guys do actually bigger spools as well, because I do like, especially with the thinner gauge stuff when claptoning and all that sort of stuff. Personally, I just prefer the bigger spools. And the last big ones I got, misses, were from Kidney Puncher. Look at the size of them bad boys. They're fucking huge. And I need to buy more of that as well. So, that is that exciting stuff. Now, those of you that saw the Kanga 200, you'll notice that... did I mention it in the last vlog? I don't know if I did or not. But I did some kind of very basic testing. Didn't give out the information correctly, so I went back, and after it was pointed out, and quite rightly so, I went back, had a relook at it, edited the video a bit, stuck a bit of different stuff in there, and said that I was going to approach things differently once I had a different type of setup to test things. And this isn't the most expensive oscilloscope in the world, but this is a puppy which you connect up to your computer. So rather than having kind of one of them big oscilloscopes with the thing and the dials and the knobs and the little screen and all that sort of stuff, this bad boy does all of the good stuff, and you just connect it up to your computer. Now, it's not going to work with Windows, and it doesn't work if you use a virtual machine either. So using things like Parallels or what's it called, VirtualBox or something, that isn't going to work. So I'm going to have to try and use this on my little netbook computer, which may well do the trick, because it does run the eScribe software. But if it doesn't, then I am going to see about getting another laptop or something that I can record the results with, especially for you guys. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have a play with this weekend. I'm very, very excited to be able to get a really kind of strong idea and about not only what it's pushing out, but how mods are pushing out, you know, and if they're going above or below what we expect them to be. So hopefully that I'm not going to turn into Phil. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I'll spray that again. I do apologise. Obviously, I'm not going to do a fill and do every mod video is going to have that because at the end of the day, I think we'll all agree that my videos can be long enough as they are. So really, it's only going to be something where I feel that I'm not getting what it's saying I'm getting, as in the K-Box 200 and mods like that. So hopefully, you guys will find some useful help in there somewhere. Now, I don't think I've got anything else to tell you. I did find some custard that I made up, and that seems to be fairly well steamed now. I made this on February 16th, or yeah, 2015. So I'm not entirely sure if I've got the balls to try that again, but I reckon that would be a coil killer like a bastard. But yeah, I had a good old clean up of my juice all there now, so I've only got the ones that I'm a big fan of. Obviously, I've got Stash over there in the corner. I need to make another Stash order. Vapor Z in the UK are still stocking some. So go to those guys if you need some. I've been really on the Dark Star over winter. I mean, it's Lushington in the summer and that nice fruity kind of loveliness, and then the Dark Star has kind of come in with I don't know. It's just made me feel a little bit, you know, in the coolness of winter. You come in and you get the heating on, and you throw your shoes off, feet up in front of the telly, and Dark Star. Oh, I've been loving it. I have been loving it. That, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I've got the mini vault video. I mean, that's something I think everybody knows about the mini vault now. Everyone and their uncles had one. And they are absolutely worthwhile still. I think Evolution Vaping in the UK has them in now with in kit form. So not kit form. So you get the mini vault and the little tank that goes with it. I haven't had one of those yet, so I don't know what the tank's like or what cores it uses or anything like that. But the mod itself, it's not without its foibles, but still, for the money and for the power, it's been brilliant. It really has been great. So I have tested the living shit out of that, so I will be doing the review maybe this weekend. But that, I think, is it. As he scours his desk full of... Every week I say I'm going to tidy up, and every week I give a bit of a tidy, and then it'll just go wrong again. It goes wrong. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. The die codes board that I put in this mod here. I was using it for the first week or so just in wattage mode, which was fine and dandy. And now I am getting into the temp control or the temp limiting side of things. Now, Dicodes actually make their own NIFE 30 wire, but you can buy that elsewhere as well. And I've put one of those coils in here, and I'm trying to have a blast on it. But it does need full attention. This isn't the sort of thing just to go into at sort of 10 o'clock at night, purely because the menu... I've not used a menu like it before. It's very, very... there's a lot to it. There is a lot to it. And I'm trying to find out how it's kind of user-friendly, if you like. But I am confusing myself a lot. Excuse me. So, yeah. So once I've got to grips with that, then I will do the review on this board. The only other thing I will say, if you're a modder, and I've got to go back to Dicodes about this and just give them a little bit of feedback, but the up button here is set incredibly close to the screen on the board itself, which does make it sort of quite awkward when you're worrying about your placement of everything and getting things together. I would like to see that kind of move down just a hint. And I know that they've tried really hard to make quite a short board, But yeah, it's a bit of a challenge if you're thinking about making one. What else? Now then, that's the new stuff covered, I think. No. I've got some news about the Shingen. Since the review of it, George has been in contact again, which is brilliant. And I love companies that take on board feedback. And, you know, I'm not saying that people should just listen to me, obviously. But take on feedback from the user and then look at ways at improving stuff. And Tendu, or George at Tendu, is doing exactly that, which is just spot on. I think it's fucking marvellous. And those are the people that I want to buy stuff from, you know. So I highlighted the gap, or the length of the 510 being sort of about 0.5 mil or so longer than most of my others, and that's something that they are looking at. They're making a small adjustment on that 510 to make it a hint shorter, which is brilliant. What are we on about? The airflow ring being a bit loose and spinny, that's getting sorted out. What have we got? Corrected that in production. He's going to send me one of the new rings, which is going to be great. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. The squonking, I mentioned about a squonking pin on it. Now, currently there is the copper pin, I think it is, in the Shingen. Now they can't make a squonking pin from copper, because obviously once you bore out the middle of that, then there's not really enough meat on the outside to keep it together once you screw it in. So I think they're going to have a little look at the potential of a stainless steel one for that one. So if that happens, that will be superb. He's going to have a little look and make a prototype of a domed cap to see if that helps that flavour production in any way, shape or form. So hopefully I'll be able to give you some more information on that soon. And yeah, there's going to be a slight change to the barrel and the airflow as well. Both myself and Mark Todd mentioned a couple of aspects with that, and so he's going to be having a little look. And essentially what this all boils down to is that he's looking at making the product that's out there better, rather than just kind of releasing something and going, well, screw you, that's what it is. It's you know, he wants to make a really solid product, which to me is just fucking aces. I'm all over that, and I think that is spot on. So yeah, more of that. We need to see more of that in vaping, not just people that are selling stuff, making something that's entirely average, selling it because it makes money, and then just, you know, just doing that. We need that to stop. There's so many products now. We need people like Tendu who are taking on board feedback and looking at improving their products, because that is the only way we progress as an industry, in my opinion. So the other thing is, I've had a few people asking me about starter setups. Now, I did do my Inikin T18 video, which I still think is the best starter kit you can buy if you're coming directly off the cigarettes, or if you know someone that is coming directly off the smokes and you want them to get involved with a bit of vaping. I still think this is absolutely superb. It's not a cloud machine. I mean, you can slipstream it, I guess. There you go, look, clouds. But, you know, it's not a cloud machine, but it's not meant to be. It's there to give you a great flavour. No fuckassery around. It's just 14 watts going straight into the coil, getting it into your face. Brilliant. Love it. Love it. So, and I'm not sure, actually, on that video, I did a bit of a silly kind of intro with stupid hair and things. And I'm not sure if that's putting people off. Let me know your thoughts on that, because if you think that's putting people off, I'll cut that out of the front of the video and reload it without that. But if you're looking for a starter kit, this every day of the week, I think it's superb. I really do. Shout outs. Do we want shout outs? Let's have a little look here now. Because of my website, I've got a contact form on the website, so if you do want to send me an email, you can either email me through the channel, or you can email me through my website. So you can just go on to vapingbiker.co.uk, go into contact me, and there's a little thing there so you can put your thoughts down. Once again, with the website, it's still growing. I'm still learning kind of how to make it, if you like, how to make it properly. But it seems to be doing what it should be doing for the minute. I've turned off comments on all my blogs and all that sort of stuff. If you think, once again, if there's any validity in having the comments on, if you think that's a thing, then let me know. Otherwise, you know, most people just generally tend to comment on the YouTube videos. But what have I got today? I've had an email from Peter. And thank you very much for getting in touch, Peter. Really enjoy the channel and the Ideal Ohm Show. I've been vaping for nearly 2 years after smoking over 40 a day for 40 years. And my wife is the same. Congratulations to the pair of you. That is spectacular news. Since vaping, we've both used tanks with ready-made coils. We both keep saying that we would look into doing our own building and also an RDA. But it is always the fear factor. Would it be possible to do a YouTube video for us oldies to make us jump into the real world, or have it as a discussion on the show, giving advice on starter atties, and keep up the great work? Absolutely a valid question there, Peter, and thank you very, very much for asking. The reason it's difficult, I guess, is because when it comes to RDAs, there isn't really a starter kind of RDA. You know, it's what boils your well, you know, what tickles your fancy, really. Personally, I think that 4-post or RDAs with 4 holes for your coils are just super easy way of getting into building. But now we've got more with the velocity style decks with the 4 holes in the 2 posts. Once again, super easy to build on. And you know, then it kind of depends on whether you're wanting big air or whether you're wanting a tight draw. It depends on the wattage you're going for and all that good stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is, I mean, I've put a couple of builds in a couple of reviews so far, but I think it has come to that point where I really want to do a build video for the new starts and all that jazz. One of the things that I will say, just for absolute ease of use, the Coilmaster V2 building kit is just it just makes everything a lot easier. So if you are a new builder, I mean, I still use mine when I'm feeling particularly lazy, hence it being open and crap all over the place. I still use mine a lot, and I find it's just, you know, when I'm in those lazy days, I'm going, can't be asked to really kind of muck about and do everything the other way. This little kit still rocks it for me. It just makes things quick and simple and super. So if you are thinking about getting into building, something like this will have all of the tools in that you'll need. You do only have the one size Allen key in the little bit that holds the posts there. But you know, with most RDAs, you'll get Allen keys that come with them anyway. So that is something that I would suggest to any kind of person that wants to get into building, because it just makes life so simple. It makes it just a lot easier than having to worry about getting everything individually, and possibly cheaper in total, does it? I don't know. But yeah, so simple, easy days. So you can go onto the Coilmaster website to get that information. Now, just seeing this has shown me that I've forgotten to mention something. I mentioned some Kendo cotton, Kendo vape cotton. Where's the thing? Before, which is some strange old stuff. It did a really bad job in my wicking video. However, this is weird, because I said some time ago in a vlog that I really liked it, and I do. So I was surprised as hell when it didn't do a brilliant job in the wicking video. But the reason for this is, and I don't know if it's, I mean, it's kind of almost like a rayon, but they're insistent that it's cotton, organic cotton. And what tends to happen is if you drip on it. For instance, you put your fresh wick in the coil, you drip on it, and the juice will just sit there. It'll go, not interested. And the coil will go, fuck you, you're not coming in. But then eventually, when it goes in, it then wicks like a bastard, and is really, really good. And it's a pretty damn clean taste as well. So yeah, when they sent me the original stuff, I don't think I ever did just a video just on this. But they've also sent me now a couple of other ones as well. So we've got We've got French. That's what we've got there. Let me just open this, shall we? Whoop, wee, go on, son. Right, we've got eco packs, which is just smaller packs of the cotton, and we have. It's only a lot of cotton. We've got the normal stuff. Ta-da! Is this a V2? I seem to remember someone saying something about a V2 of that coming out. But anyway, we've got that one. And we've got the gold edition, which I am yet to use. So I'm going to give that a little bit of a blast and see what the script is there. Let me have a little look at the differences. The gold edition comes with a metre long of cotton strands, shares the same genetics as the Kendo original, yet wicks easier. Oh, so that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting for sure. Now, the only other challenge that I've found with the Kendo stuff is it kind of, I think we've all got used to having things like your Mujis and all that sort of stuff now, rather than having just cotton balls. And if you've been vaping a while, you'll remember getting your cotton balls out and trying to find the way that everything kind of went and all that sort of stuff. And this is very, very similar in as much as what you're trying to do is you're trying to find kind of the path with the most resistance, because that's where you've got most of the kind of longer strands, rather than the where it just breaks apart as soon as you put it in the RDA or in the coil. But once you get it down, it's pretty nice. I know my wife had a bit of a problem. I gave her a bag of this to have a play with, and she had hell and all problems trying to figure it out. But she's pretty new to coiling, to be fair. And I stuck a coil in for her, stuck some of this in there, and she's loving it. So takes a bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's pretty damn good. So that I really do think, apart from a little bit of wind, that's that. Why have I not put a can in the cup before? That's the future. Yeah. So let me know if you're interested in kind of the merchy side of things, because that'll be kicking off in the not too distant future. And yeah, there should be some fun stuff in there. So I'm hoping you guys are going to like it. And I'm not doing it to make a bucket load of cash or anything like that, but it does also help support things like buying the bits that I buy when it comes to things like buying the Cloudmaker. So that, I think, is that. Is there any other shout outs I want to say? Do I want to say about shout outs? Let me have a little look at emails. Oh, Nambajuice has now got the Grim beer flasks and some quite sexy looking snapback caps. Wish I was young enough to be able to cope with the snapbacks. Epiclouds now do 60ml bottles as well. That's interesting. What have we got? I have been asked to look at some wire, so we can see about that later on. I've been asked to look at one of these subscription companies for juices. Now, we know I don't do juice reviews, so I'm unsure whether we'll do that or not, but we'll see. Now then, just have a quick flick through the comments recently. What do we got? Jared has just picked up a Goblin and he's loving it. That's cool. There's a V2 Goblin, isn't there now? I think that's top fill as well. I think I'm probably going to have to try and find one of those and buy one of those bad boys to give a look at. Someone else has commented about they agree with me regarding the output of the K-Box 200. What have we got? Very interesting. Maggie has said, "Hi Dean, I ended up buying one of these on the Cleto. Having a slight problem with spitback burning my tongue, as I'm using the 0.4 coil and vaping Darkstar. Tried it between 40 and 50 watts, but unless I keep the air control nearly closed and take very large draws, I am getting spitback. Can you offer any suggestions?" No. Not really. Sorry, Maggie. I would love to. I really would, but I can't. Essentially, what I have been doing is I use the 0.2 coils, and I have had, I mean, I get a little tiny spit back now and then, but not very often. And I have got on here at the moment, I have got the airflow just over halfway open. You can kind of see that. What have we got? 55 watts. No spit back there whatsoever. No, nothing at all. Let me just take that up to 60 watts, if that does anything. No. No, sod all. So, I would suggest, I think you get a 0.2 coil in the pack, Maggie. So give a go to the 0.2, bang about sort of 50-60 watts through it, and see how that goes for you. But otherwise, I haven't had the issue, so it's difficult for me to offer any explanation on there. What have we got? Soggy Biscuits. Hi, Mr. Biker. Just wanted to say hello, and I do enjoy your channel. Love your reviews. Very genuine, detailed, etc., etc. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Soggy Biscuits. That's very kind of you, and a fantastic name. What else? Someone's asking, the Get Into It is asking about how Vampire Vape, as he's written, I think he means Vampire Vape, is for ordering. He needs VG in a hurry. I've never had any problems ordering from Vampire Vape. Obviously, I don't use them a whole hell of a lot, but when I have, I've not had any problems with them. I do tend to get, I've got some, I've had an order from Big Cloud come in. I think it's Big Cloud. Let me look. Big Cloud e-liquid, made in the UK. This is the VG that I've been using recently, and has been working brilliantly. It's been a nice taste, a nice sort of sweetness to it, and it's www.bigcloud with an E at the end liquid.co.uk. I don't know what any of their liquids are like, if they do them even. All I can tell you is about the homebrew stuff, and this VG has worked out well for me. But at the same time, because I live in Norwich, I'm aware of a company called Alchemist Cupboard, which I have been buying my VG based Nick from, and also some other VG and what have you from there, and a few Capella flavourings, and those guys have been pretty damn sweet as well. So, you know, that's from that point. Once again, I've not tried, I think they do their own juice lines as well. I've not tried those. Just from the homebrew side of things, that stuff has been working out well, and they're a pretty damn good shop. And if you're local to Norwich as well, although they're not a shop as in a storefront, you can go in, and they've got a great amount of knowledge and information in there as well. And I believe they've got the full kind of, their lab is a proper have some lab, you know. Ooh, good times. What else? I'm not gonna bore you too much on this one. What else have we got? 325 Vapor reviews. Well done, honest review. I'm more interested on where I could get a camera tilting setup you used to make the video. I got this little puppy. I think this is an Amazon job. I just bought this from Amazon, and it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. I do need to see about getting a different camera, because I am having issues, especially with my close-up work, of getting it. It doesn't seem, even with the different controlling that I've got now, with the exposure rates and all that sort of stuff, I think I would prefer something that I can get even more kind of HD loveliness from. So I've got a Logitech 930 at the moment, which is, you know, it's a pretty damn good camera, and I think I get a reasonably decent picture. But I do want to up that a little bit. But you know what it's like, buying expensive camera gear is expensive. Hence me calling it expensive camera gear, and that's just not something that I can fund at the moment. So I don't know. If you have, there we go. If you have any suggestions for a good HD recording, 1080p, I don't need to worry about 4K. I'm not that special. You don't need to see all this in 4K. Oh no. But if you know of any kind of affordable kind of cameras that I do use Mac setups, so I'd like something that I can record via the screen. That's the other thing as well. if you make videos, trying to record stuff where you can actually monitor it on screen rather than having one of the little flips is very awkward. But you know, I'm open to ideas. So if you know of anything, please let me know, and it'll give me something to save up for. And now let's just do a couple more, shall we? Because I'm sure, how long is this going now? Holy fuck, we're over an hour. Twat me. Where can I get Lane Co from? I think that's coming into the UK soon. I can't remember who's doing it, but someone is. Everyone's talking about the Griffin. Apparently it's an amazing tank. Tanks don't... See, because I love squonking, tanks don't really kind of excite me. I mean, the Cleto is just so simple. You bang coil in and away you go, and it does what it says on the tin. I haven't got to worry about wicking issues. I haven't got to worry about building certain types of coils for certain things or anything like that. So if you're a lazy person, something like this is spot on. Someone's asking, even with the slight shorting issue that I've had a couple of times with the avocado, Jared, you're asking that one, would I still recommend it? Hell yes, I would. Absolutely. And I think, to be honest with you, oh, here we go. It's Leah Francis. Thank you very much for the comment on the Shinjin. I like a restricted lung hit, but I love chuff caps, so I'm on the fence on this one. And it is pronounced Sheen Gen. Sheen, SHEEN -GEN. Sheen Gen, with the G as a G sound, not a J. So Sheen Gen. There we go. Sheen Gen. Is it Sheen Gen or Sheen Gen? Sheen Gen. I'm fairly sure that you can royally fuck something up if you say something that's supposed to be a word in some of these languages and you have the wrong intonation. You can sort of start by saying it's a lovely coil, and then when you actually say it in that tongue, then if you've got the wrong intonation, it comes out as go fuck yourself. which wouldn't be good at all. And finally, Tattooed Bill, thanks for the review, Dean. I hope your health is holding up. Yeah, we're getting there, my friend. We're getting there. It's thank you for the answer, question or comment. A few people have commented on it, and you know, thank you very much indeed. It's it is tough sometimes, but we get through, and that's what we do, because that's all we can do. So all in all, yeah, nothing else. The highlight for me this week is the one calling me boring and miserable personality. So cheers. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a bastard, isn't it? Hour and 7 minutes. Good. I do apologise. Well done if you made it all the way through. I hope it's been informational, entertaining, or something. I know most of you, whoever it was who a while ago watched one of my reviews and said, stop trying to do your stupid jokes with your rubbish English sense of humour, and that they learned nothing in a vlog. Oh well. Suck it up. So what am I going to finish on? Let's finish on, have we got plenty of juice in this? Yes, we have. I'm going to finish on the Nobunaga on the Vape Forward Light at 70 little watts. With the Wick Liquor Deja Vu doing it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. You're all superstars. You're all awesome. And hopefully we can carry out some decent content this week, and hopefully the old oscilloscope will give us some interesting shit as well. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you all have a cracking weekend, and you go out and have it larger!
It's come to an end. I feel an obligation to start again.